Some very unrealistic person was saying that they have a crow, a pet crow, which I hope it's an African species, and they're gonna get a pineapple conure so that their crow can have a friend. This is a pineapple conure, okay? You take away the feathers, it's about the size of a mouse. This bird, this pineapple conure, stays in my bathroom if I'm not home. This is my friend's bird, and I don't want the bird to get hurt. This would be considered food for Sam or a crow. This bird is too small and it's inappropriate to be flying around my apartment. And when it came here, it came out of the cage. I put it in a $1,500 animal environment cage, stainless steel cage. I opened the door and it flew out, and it was fucking with Sam the Raven. And it was fucking with my cat. And my cat at one point, who's never killed anything, walked off with Bijou in his mouth. And I was like, I gotta clip his wings, because the fast-moving little bird that's about the size of a large hummingbird is exciting the predators, okay? This bird was dive bombing Sam. These are precocious little birds, and they can fly pretty good. But can this bird fly, this small bird, fly as good as Sam the Raven? No, it cannot. Sam the Raven, this large bird, can fly around this room. They can fly upside down and shit. Would I feel comfortable having this size bird as a pet? No, I wouldn't. You're an unrealistic person, because you see pigeons walking around Sam the Raven and Sam the Raven leaving them alone. Pigeons are larger. They're not as tiny as this bird. This bird probably weighs 50 grams or something. You see what Sam just did? You said your crow is real social, right? To you. You're describing it being social to you. What makes you think that if you went and got a mouse at the pet store, that your crow isn't going to try and kill it? It's a food source. That's a crow. You get a pineapple conure and you're having unrealistic expectations. This is your second bird, and you're going to get a hookbill because you think that the hookbill is going to be friends with your raven. Well, that's not going to happen, or your crow. That's not going to happen. They're not going to be best friends, and you're very unrealistic. If you wanted to do this, which, you know, if you wanted your crow to have a friend, you would get another crow. But I'm telling you, when you get a crow, they're from a breeder, they're not going to even really, like, they might hang out by each other. They're not going to breed. I'll tell you that. They're not going to breed. When you get a young crow like that, they don't breed. Okay? They might sort of get along, but they're not going to be best buddies. And to think that the pineapple conure, if my friend Judy gave me this bird, to think that this bird is going to be best friends with Sam the Raven, you're out of your fucking mind. This bird is too tiny to be living with the raven. There's size restrictions. This bird would get hurt in this house. You don't get it, do you? You just have unrealistic expectations. You see a cute little parrot, and you're like, oh, that's going to be my crow's best friend. You know what's going to happen? Your crow is going to munch your pineapple. It is. And you're going to feel like an idiot. It doesn't matter how long you know, it's just inappropriate. It's an inappropriate size to be living with your crow. This is food. This is the size of food. This is something that they would go after. You have to understand that when you see the pigeons in here, they're not really food for the crow or the raven unless they were injured and dying. This thing, if it was flying in the air and a crow could get it, it would take it out, definitely. And this thing flies in such a manner that it attracts the crow or the raven. It's like a small mouse scampering around. It causes visual excitement, and instincts are going to kick in, and your pineapple's going to be dead. You're making a huge mistake. You should listen to Peter. Do you know how many birds I've dealt with over the years? How many animals I've dealt with? Remember, I'm the freak that fell off the cliff and became obsessed with communicating with animals. Don't get a pineapple. If you were going to do that, you would get a much larger parrot. Don't you get this? You don't get this, do you? You're just going to do whatever you want. You know, this is all about you. My crow is going to be best friends with this tiny bird. You're a fool. You are a fool. That bird's going to get hurt.